I'm Steve Wiggins, and this is the Groundworks Ministries podcast. Today we're reading from the book of Job, chapter 26. Let's focus on verses 1 through 6. Then Job replied, "What great help you bring to the powerless! What deliverance to the arm without strength! Such wonderful advice for a man lacking wisdom. So much common sense you've expressed. Who helped you say these words? Whose spirit is it coming forth from you? The ghosts of the dead tremble beneath the water with its creatures. Sheol is naked before him. Abaddon lies uncovered." After Bildad's scathing, "How can humans be righteous with God?" rebuke, Job snaps back with "Friends like you, who needs enemies?" response. Speaking of enemies, Job pinpoints the source of Bildad's argument, and that source is Satan. And this information is not new to us. It was Eliphaz who first revealed the enemy's counsel. Job chapter 4, verses 12 through 19. "For a word was stealthily brought to me. My ear caught only a whisper of it. In passing thoughts flashing through visions of the night, when sleep lies heavy on people, a shiver of horror came over me, and it made all my bones tremble. A spirit passed in front of my face. The hair on my flesh stood on end. It stood still, but I couldn't make out its appearance, and yet the form stayed there before my eyes. And then I heard a subdued voice. Can a human be seen by God as righteous? Can a mortal be pure before his Maker? God doesn't trust his own servants. He finds fault even with his angels, much more those living in houses of clay, whose foundation is in the dust." So now that Job has established that he is aware of who is actually speaking to him, he goes on the offensive. Not just against Bildad, but he's also going against the demon who is counseling Bildad. Job recalls how God judged demonic influence in the days of Noah through the flood. How then could such counsel override God's word today? Demons had already been proven subject to God's power. They don't have power over God, nor over his people. Job's insight should remind us of the true source of the worldly, non-biblical counsel that we're subjected to day after day, sometimes even in churches. Not only is it demonic, but more importantly, its demonic source has already been judged and already sentenced to an ultimate hellish end. And we're also reminded of the importance of seeking God's word every day, because only in the Bible do we learn that our greatest enemy has already been defeated. And the concept that Job brings up, how ghosts of the dead tremble beneath the water with its living creatures, that became the source of a superstition among the Jewish people, and it remained prevalent even in Jesus' day. Many people held to the belief that after the flood of Noah, those demons lived at the bottom of large bodies of water. And the superstition put forth that since spirits are eternal, they're still living down there, every now and then a big storm would come and they must be alive at the bottom of the sea. And then when the seas are churned up, the spirits are churned up. It's a holdover from when Noah's flood subsided. Well, this is most likely the source of the disciples' fear upon seeing Jesus as he's walking on the water in the midst of a storm. If you recall, Matthew 14, verses 25 through 27, around 3 a.m, he came walking to them on the sea, and the disciples saw him walking on the sea, and they were terrified. "It's a ghost," or "It is a spirit," they said. And they cried out in fear. And immediately Jesus spoke to them, "Take courage, it is I. Do not be afraid." Let's continue to seek the Bible together so that our theology will never have to make an apology. I'm Steve Wiggins, and this is the Groundworks Ministries podcast. Groundworks Ministries operates entirely through financial donations. Faithful people like you giving to Groundworks Ministries, and then that sets out to transform lives. It changes how people think by opening their understanding of God's Word. Would you consider making a donation to Groundworks Ministries today? We need your monthly support now more than ever. Donating is secure and it's easy at our website, groundworksministries.com. Another way to help is to tell people about us, right? Tell people about Groundworks Ministries. You know, every time you get an email or if you go online, you can cut and paste that link and share it with your friends and family on your social media. And of course, you can always direct folks to our website, groundworksministries.com.